we can crop it. Don't worry.
All right, then, boys. Recording should
All right. Start. I think we should introduce ourselves.
Yes, I think we should. So,
I'm not doing the fake out thing because like it's done.
Temur wasn't recorded. You could do that.
But your reactions won't be original. So let's forget it.
What, do you think I can't act?
Full name बता रहे हैं?
Yeah, I mean, like नाम लिखा हुआ आ रहा है. This is recorded. If it's going to be on video, then
तेरा क्यों आ रहा है? अगली दफा full name डालना.
Because I had the foresight to not put my surname.
Habib, तू क्यों है? How are you?
Because Chalo, guys, I'm Habib Q. I am currently living in UAE.
All right then, and this is Saad Zafar, and I am in Oman right now.
And this is Temur Hafiz. I am in Canada right now, Toronto.
You actually lagged there. You actually lagged there. Like, yeah, asli tha. All right. All right then. So,
okay, let's start.
क्या चल रहा है boys? Nothing much, man. Just isolation चल रही है. हबीब ने I think 5वीं मर्तबा सुना है और 3वीं मर्तबा आज.
Isolation is keeping me so bored. I made lasagna today, so that was good.
Yeah, I hope everybody's fine till tomorrow.
So far, so good. कल पता चलेगा.
I hope you have enough medicine at home stock because तू बाहर तो जा नहीं पा रहा होगा.
Maybe. We'll find out tomorrow.
तू वैसे क्या कहते हैं, like बाहर निकल पा रहे हो in UAE?
Yeah. There's no lockdown or anything of that sort. But I have a question though. If anyone does suffer from like food poisoning, would that count as a corona-related illness? No? Okay, just confirming.
Those are not. No,
just confirming.
Those are not part of the symptoms.
Why did
Guys? I was joking because my lasagna would be so bad. I had to cook because of the quarantine. But thanks for
not understanding you. यार तू बहुत ज़्यादा effort लगा रहा था.
देखो ये पहला episode है. Let's not go so far.
Yeah, let's stay out of the washroom. So or Temu, tu bata, when are you off work right now? Yeah, what's the scene?
No, I am in forced, not forced, voluntary self-isolation because मैं पाकिस्तान से आया था 2-3 दिन हो गए हैं अभी. तो यहाँ पे आती so they said कि रहना airport पे पहले when I landed at the airport तो they said कि रहना so you understand that you need to be in self-isolation for 14 days. हाँ ठीक है. इमिग्रेशन ऑफिसर के पास मेरा पासपोर्ट पड़ा हुआ था. उसके पास एक और पेपर था तो वहाँ पे लिख लिया so you accept that you will be in self isolation for 14 days. मैंने कहा कि I have to. नहीं, मैंने कहा कि yes I do. So he signed some other paper and then he said कि exit के वगैरह दे देना. So there was a dude over there taking these paper slips from everybody. मैंने कोई sign नहीं किया. तो अपना I don't know like if there's somebody outside tracking me कि मैं घर में हूँ या बाहर जा रहा हूँ or not, but so yeah, I'm in self-isolation right now.
But what about work? How are you able to work?
So काम का ये है कि we decided because my work is mostly in field, so they said कि Ratna, let's just do for the next 2 weeks we'll just do like online training modules and workshops and those kind of things.
Okay.
So
that's good. But you don't think there's like a mobile police outside or something? कोई मोबाइल नहीं खड़ी हुई बाहर आपके घर के बाहर कोई मोबाइल नहीं.
नहीं I think जितना at most क्या हो सकता है कि these people can track through CCTV तो like अच्छा ठीक है tag कर लिया है and then they can see कि ये बंदा तो कहीं दुकान में जा रहा है or something like that. So that might be something.
So it's a pretty similar situation here, although like, and they literally said the same thing. They basically just called asked me to phone them. So it wasn't even like they sent a circular out. And then they said, phone karo us number pe. Then I called on them on the number, and then they're like, ghar pe rehna, haath dhote rehna, logon se milna nahi. Oh, they also said, don't share your bed with anybody, and don't share your washroom with anyone. So, well.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
And then जहाँ तक मैंने सुना है कि the transfer is only through कि अच्छा ठीक है खांस लिया या like छींक मारी है कहीं. So that's why they usually recommend the 2-meter distance as well. Yeah, to रहना मैंने हाथों पे खांसा or something like that, and then I'm like touching some shit, and then somebody else touches that. See, door handles, lift buttons, all of that crap. So I practically carry like a small like isopropyl की छोटी सी बोतल है हाथ में. So whenever like as soon as I open my car, sit inside my car, ठीक है वो मलना है. घर में मैं first thing वो मलना है. या नहीं actually घर में आके तो then you do the whole soap thing.
Soap thing. Yeah. हबीब तू excited नहीं है इसके बारे में? तू नहीं कर रहा कुछ?
I'm just keeping a bottle of hand sanitizer with me, and I've gotten to the point where I can't remember the last time I touched an elevator button. I'm just constantly using my elbows or using like my phone to touch it.
So, your phone to touch it, so you just carry it around.
Phone is gonna touch your face.
No, but I regularly disinfect my phone also.
Oh, that's good.
We alcohol so that I just clean the entire thing.
Wait. So funny.
Do you want me to pause this? Yeah.
Let it be.
I think let it be. It's natural time only right now. So by the way, I was playing Mario Kart. Mario Kart nahi, Super Mario Odyssey. तुम दोनों में किसने खेला है क्या?
Is it on the Switch?
Yeah, it's on the Switch.
No, I don't have the Switch. I think.
नहीं, Switch I sold. मैंने तो अपना Switch काफी पहले कर लिया था, तो I never.
I think you sold it in Dubai.
Yeah, sold it over there.
I mean, I hadn't finished it. Dude, I hadn't finished it, so I'm like enjoying it. बहुत मजा है. Are you guys getting a message that internet is unstable?
Nope.
I am. Nothing so far.
Okay.
Nothing for
I'm
me.
It's showing full connectivity bars for you and for Habib.
Perfect. Chalo, I think let's move to the topic. Habib, unless you want to add some new spice to our stories or.
No, it's fine. I think let's just start.
I just want to say everybody should get Doom Eternal. Aaj launch hui hai, and
I
already have it.
Oh, nice!
Wow.
As soon as this is done, I'm gonna jump on that.
Oh, nice! Yeah, I सोचा था लेने के लिए, and then I realized I don't have a mouse here, and I'm in isolation, and there's no way to contact, so I need to probably get the mouse first, and then I buy the game. Dude, I'm in isolation in a hotel room.
तो PS4 तो फिर भी हो सकता है ना? TV तो है.
Because when he's traveling, he keeps a PS4 with him.
तो
don't you?
नहीं. wasn't expecting to be staying here for so long. Lekin तो no, I don't have a PS4 on my. But I can download it on वो क्या Steam पे या Blizzard के उस पे.
नहीं Blizzard नहीं, Bethesda का है वो launcher है, but Steam पे भी है. अच्छा, we can move into the main topic, but I just want to talk about one silly thing first. This is a very technical geeky thing. The game launch हुई थी तो game जब launch हुई है ना, तो उसके साथ एक DRM anti वो piracy का वो software जैसा है. But Bethesda का जो अपना launcher है, not on Steam, Bethesda का अपना launcher है, उस पे जब उन्होंने game launch की थी, तो people literally just clicked on the folder, जो installation folder था, जब game install हो रही थी and everything, और उसमें exe की एक और file पड़ी हुई थी, which basically if you copy paste that on the main folder जहाँ पे install हुई हुई है, it will override the DRM between Nuvoka, and you'll basically essentially crack it. People literally just put that on the internet, the game out. Like launch होते ही.
Wow.
Yeah, where did it launch? Yesterday?
Somebody ने तुक्के में देखा, उसने कहा कि ये दूसरी exe file क्यों पड़ी हुई है यहाँ पे, तो they just like copy pasted that. अच्छा ठीक है भाई, game launch होगी, खत्म. 15 minutes में the game was cracked.
This has to be a new record.
So ये Bethesda है, again this is Bethesda, so the Fallout people तो ऐसे glitches करते रहते हैं वो लोग. But anyways,
but these guys are the ones who bought id, is it?
Bethesda bought it. Yeah, Bethesda ने id को खरीदा, तो जो है ना, it is continuing making their own, तो Wolfenstein वो बना रहे हैं और Doom अभी. तो yeah.
So and how does it further the storyline? Is there a storyline there?
Yeah, dude. So the first Doom not the first Doom, the remake of the Doom that came out in 2016. Uski, it had a very basic storyline. You could only sort of catch hints here and there, like cutscenes में था, लेकिन it was mostly moment to moment क्या हो रहा है. But some of the history ke jo hai apna is he connected to the same Doom guy who was from the original Doom from 92 94 wali games ka. So there's a little bit of history and jo hai apna isme jo hai apna Doom Eternal mein, so they really like kind of like expanded. मैंने इतनी खेली नहीं, so I don't really know, but this is what I'm hearing from like reviews and stuff. But dude, like it is just so, that game is just matlab, it is perfect for self-isolation right now because you're literally killing demons and matlab ye nahi ki goli mari aur ye wo, it is extremely like bahut hi brutal, bahut vicious, matlab खून खराबा is had tak ke you're like, oh man,
relieved.
But it is so satisfyingly good. It is so good.
So Habib, what should be the background OST when you're playing this?
The game's official music itself is so good. You don't need anything else. वो सीधा जो है अपना वो क्या कहते हैं अपना वो metal से जो है सीधा death metal पे शुरू हो जाता है as soon as like the arena forms. You're like, man, it is time to go. मतलब.
So they still do the arenas the way they were doing it in Doom the remake.
Yeah.
Like you enter area.
Arenas हैं. But this time they've improved the game loop a little bit. कि रहना मतलब अब पहले ही होता था कि अच्छा ठीक है जी वो कोई enemy को मारा तो this stagger bat, so you can do like you know like some वो what are those skills called, those
quick time skills or something. Yeah, those melee.
Yeah, तो melee kills होते हैं. But अब इसमें क्या हो गया कि at higher difficulty levels मतलब बिल्कुल ही फट जाती है. तो उसमें if you chainsaw dude तो you will get like ammo. If you tear them apart you will get health. If you पता नहीं कोई और rocket launcher से मारते तो then you will get armor. So depending कि किस enemy को कैसे मारे हो तो that's how you will keep on surviving because the damage is like too much. हर जगह से कुछ ना कुछ चीज आ रही है. So the gameplay loop is also, you need to perfect that to be able to survive.
Interesting.
So you're playing on hard, is it?
I started on please don't hurt me mode.
Okay.
And
dude, I kid you not, this is with kids, this is where you need to start. You need to start with please don't hurt me and finish the game.
But I will probably bump it up to the nightmare difficulty, नहीं पता नहीं ultra nightmare or something like that. कुछ ऐसी जहाँ पे basically if you die once, so that's it. The game is over.
What?
Holy crap! So there's another mode. So there's another specific. एक तो ultra nightmare mode होता है, which is extremely difficult. उसमें then there's a sudden death mode, which is तू मर गया तो that's it. The game is over for you.
Nice.
So that's gonna be for like purists.
I'll tell you the soundtrack of you. The soundtrack is Corona Go. Go Corona. Corona go. How are you gonna do it? As soon as you kill a demon, it's like
Can we just start? Can we just change the topic now?
Okay,
let's just ruin the entire
great segue.
Okay, so we'll go on to from Corona, let's move on to Parasite.
Sure, absolutely. Habib, do you want to start? Sure. I am really dying to listen to what you want to say. Or should we keep you like the last man, the guy who just kills all our
let's start with him.
Let's start
okay, no. So see, I really liked Parasite. I definitely think it was an Oscar worthy movie. Yeah, I did like it. I was a bit afraid of watching it initially because people were hyping it up so much, and I'm a bit averse to that. Like, I still haven't seen the TV show The Wire because people constantly rave about it being like the best TV show ever. But Parasite did meet up to its expectations. Visually, the movie was incredibly clean. I mean, I'm sure you guys must have already seen the YouTube videos about all the physical lines being like the metaphorical lines in the camera. Did you guys see those videos?
You shared one with me.
Okay. So okay, either way, so that's something I really like.
But I actually I agree with you on that. I like that bit as well, like how clean it was. But continue, please.
Yeah, so the acting for pretty much each and every one I thought was really, really good. Movie में थोड़े scenes थे which really stuck to me. I think the first one was, of course, when they're admiring that painting which the kid had done. It's like a chimpanzee and all, and he's like, "Oh, it's just a self-portrait, everything." I think it's a lot like in a lot of things we tend to bullshit our way through it. Only when people try to put a perspective, even though we might think it's still shit, we're like, okay, you know what? You're probably right. That and the scene in which what do you call, the father is complaining about the driver and how his smell is in front of his children. I think that was a really, really strong moment for me when I was like, wow. And that's something that really stuck to me even after the movie. That it was really good. And how initially, I know I'm going like front and back towards the movie,
No,
how
that's
the
fine.
one kid who joined the one kid who joined the rich family, eventually he ended up getting his entire family. Yeah, it's kind of how everything is now. In the end, it's like capitalism. It's always about, you only think about yourself and how you can better yourself, and you're willing to do whatever it has to do, even if it means ruining other people. No matter how much you ruin, as long as you are benefiting in some way or the other.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So obviously spoiled
Yeah,
every
yeah,
like
yeah,
movie.
it's fine.
It's a podcast. So जब उसका बाप जो है, when he gets trapped in the or he tries to save himself and by locking himself in the cellar, तो उसके
Hmm.
बाद से तो it was, I think the movie had ended there for me. जो उसके बाद उन्होंने दिखाया है, that was literally like मतलब for me it didn't matter. Like I thought कि यार वो चाहे किसी भी डायरेक्शन में उसको वहां पर लेके जाए, the movie was already over for me when he tried to save his ass there. अब वो कितनी centuries वहां रहेगा? I mean, if you're a positive person, you would like to think कि यार he would actually grow up and become that XYZ person. But again, for that he might have to be still lie, cheat, and steal to come to that point. Or is he going to be
Probably.
the same person? I mean, you could do it anyway, or and you could get different results completely. But I think the story was complete there. कि भाई, in a word, everybody. I mean, what I actually took away from the movie was like everybody is a parasite. Every person,
Hmm.
like you said, कि every man for himself. It was almost like everybody is or the question is who is the parasite. But Temur, I think you wanted to. I want you to complete your. I mean, what were you saying? You
So
had
for
mixed
me,
feeling.
again, yes, as soon as I finished it, so I didn't like, I'll be honest, मुझे इतनी, because of the way it ended, and I'm like just on the outset, I'll just tell this about myself, I like happy endings in movies. So,
Oh my God, we got
so
to like.
but here's the thing. But here's the thing. जब movie खत्म हुई थी, तो I didn't really feel much कि रत्ना. I thought कि रत्ना अच्छा यार, like like everybody did some stupid shit, so whatever. Everybody kind of like got what they deserved, right? And then this was one of those movies जहाँ पे after thinking about it a lot more कि रत्ना किसके क्या motives थे or why, which was pretty obvious in the movie as well. But what were the implications behind them? So वो सोचते सोचते I really appreciated the movie more. When I was watching the movie at that time, for me it was just like, man, what a clean spectacle this film is.
They're
Just
true.
खूबसूरत movie बनाई है.
Hmm.
Every frame was, this was like, I'm not gonna say Kubrick level stuff, but it was like
Whoa.
every
No.
scene, every setting was like absolutely stunningly done. Or
Hmm.
yeah,
Like
it
उसका
just of
मकसद था.
Hmm.
Almost every setting had a मकसद.
you
Like
know what, this reminded me a lot of
purpose.
जैसे storyboards बनाते हैं movies के लिए, obviously, तो like they'll have like drawing set and then the camera will kind of like follow generally, but
Right.
manga में जैसे होता है, where you have like those scenes animated and the feeling within those scenes is already portrayed. So how they come about in anime, this movie was kind of like that. It was like like every scene was sort of like set. It felt like it was based out of a comic book movie or something. Uski movies भी like they often represent scenes like that. क्या नाम है उसका अपना? Who's the dude? जो 300 जिसने
Wes
बनाई थी?
Anderson. The
नहीं नहीं.
300.
Snyder.
Zack Snyder.
Zack
Zack
Snyder.
Snyder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Snyder often, like whenever he's adapting films, so he'll often like have certain frames, pivotal frames to have now like story के अंदर,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
they'll
Hmm.
be exactly represented like that. So this felt more like that. But coming to the film itself, it's you really thought about बाद में कि like who was really the bad person? Were there bad people?
Yeah.
There was no. At the end of the day, there was no good person. Even तुम बच्चों को अगर ले लोगे ना, तो the बच्चे were like so brought up in that like तो गरीब बच्चे थे, they were like रत्ना अच्छा ठीक है यार, हसल करनी है किसी ना किसी तरीके से रत्ना, we gotta reach the top, like चाहे वो झूठ बोलें जो भी है. And उसी से वो यही बात होती है कि झूठ बोल के, because the middle, or I guess like the lower class people, was set in such a way through society कि झूठ बोल के ही वो ऊपर जा सकते थे. वो अमीर लोग उनको उनके मेरिट पे नहीं उठाते. They wouldn't have hired that dude as a limo driver अगर उनको पता होता ये तो कि गरीब जगह से है. वो तो smell से रहना, like they were so used to a higher level of living कि वो smell already रहना, like that was like that thing that they kept on pointing कि oh यार इनमें से तो बू आ रही.
I really loved that part.
Same साबुन लगाया, तुम्हारी smell भी वही आ रही, तुम्हारी smell भी वही, right? So you can kind of like hate the kid for that, but you also have to realize that this is the way they were. वो डायलॉग होता है ना जहाँ पे आई थिंक इट्स बिटवीन द माँ एंड द बेटी जो बोल रही होती है कि रत्ना वो तो बहुत अच्छी है, उसकी बीवी जो 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 घर में जो रह रहे होते हैं, लाइक मियाँ बीवी और बच्चे होते हैं ना, तो देयर लाइक रत्ना वो बीवी तो बहुत अच्छी है, यू नो, लाइक शी इज रियली नाइस. तो वो बोलती है कि यस शी इज रिच, दैट्स व्हाई शी कैन अफोर्ड टू बी नाइस, एंड दैट वाज द बॉटम लाइन, राइट? दैट वन थिंग लाइक रियली स्टक विद मी कि वो इतनी अमीर है, she doesn't have to worry about the basic necessities of life कि रत्ना she can afford to be nice. And that was what the movie was about कि रत्ना they were showing कि, for me at least, you know, they're showing कि these people have to struggle, and then even then beyond that उससे भी नीचे there was another level जो मियाँ बीवी इसमें रह रहे होते हैं, और फिर उनको ये लोग क्या करते हैं. So you know, like even from their point of view, ignore the rich people. If you just look at these struggling people versus the people who are just barely making ends meet, जो मियाँ बीवी जो मियाँ जो basement में रह रहे होते हैं,
yeah, I mean literally क्या कहते हैं, scraps on scraps.
Yeah, and they weren't treated well either by these middle class guys जो कि अब middle class हो गए. वो उसको धक्का दे देती है. I mean she just like अच्छा ठीक है यार इनको तो बंद कर लो, बांध दो, we can't, you know, we can't deal with them. So in effect they were also behaving like those richer people कि रत्ना मुझे मुसीबत नहीं चाहिए, I just want this out of my way, I just want to focus on my life, and as long as it's good, it's good, everything is good.
Yeah, I think it comes down to the point that Habib was making कि जो capital है, मतलब the capitalistic nature of life right now, society yeah कि अपना अपना, and as long as it's good for me, I'm not bothered how it comes.
Yep.
Achha, and adding to that one thing, Tamil, which you said about के manga के scenes, the cinematography was really great, and I think the one scene which really looked like an absolute like exact scene from a manga is जब वो उसकी दो आंखें नजर आ रही होती है ना, जब वो बेसमेंट से पीक कर रहा होता है and the बच्चा जो फ्रिज के आगे से हो रहा होता है, that actually did look like a scene from a manga. Like that was incredibly shot.
Actually many, like even the one that is where, you know, जो रात में जो बच्चा जो है वो टेंट में बाहर सो रहा होता है, and then he sees movement, then he starts flashing, and then they actually show the like पूरा एक frame में they show the tent in the middle, right in the center of the frame, and you know क्या कहते हैं lights के अंदर जल रही है, और you know the kids are all waking up, all like the whole framing of the movie, जिस तरीके से वो staircase से नीचे लोग उतरते थे, या staircase को जो angles में दिखाया हुआ था, I was I mean very very impressed with the way they shot it. It was beautiful. It was like a treat for the eyes. There was nothing jarring that came out. It was always like so immaculate, like it was very well placed. I would think. And I think to adding to Taimur's point on, you know, क्या कहते हैं जो बता रहे थे तुम के there is like, you know, nobody is bothered, and like I think in the beginning when I started when I was, you know, when I first started internalizing the movie, I was thinking कि it is, who is the parasite here, like are the people parasite, because if you look at it, those guys were not conning them. They were the, like, you know, the family, they weren't conning them, they were literally getting wages for what they were doing. But the way they removed the other family or the other people from there was basically just that, you know, the rat race, कि यार इसको साइड में करो, हम लोग अपना 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 करते हैं, उसको साइड में करो. उसी तरीके से अगर तुम उसको देखो, वो जो क्या कहते हैं, ये तो दोनों जो पेरेंट्स और I mean जो husband और wife थे, right, they were also they, like in the beginning you were kind of thinking you were doubting their morality, but like towards a good part of the movie you kind of realize, yeah, these are not bad people either. Like it's not like they are rich, but that doesn't make them bad. And then I think what really like sent the message home, and which tilted this the movie towards the towards the poor people, okay, like towards the less fortunate, was the storm. I think the storm brought
Hmm.
everything home. The storm got
Yeah.
like because and storm, and what happens right after the storm, because storm ke dauran जो है क्या कहते हैं मतलब this family doesn't camp. They were gone out for chilling. They don't camp. They come back home, like the rich
Hmm.
family, right? They come back home
Yep.
and they're like, मुझे ये खाना है, मुझे खाना है. Nothing even like happens in their life. They just, in fact, the kid actually tents outside and does camp in the backyard, right? So which is like,
Hmm.
matlab, even if you can't really camp outside, I can camp in my backyard because I'm so rich, right? And at the same
Hmm.
time, you realize कि next day, I think that the worst part is that next day उनके बेचारों के घर खत्म हो चुके हैं. They're sleeping in a gym,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
इन्होंने एक impromptu party show throw कर दिया. So like it's like जले पे जख्म, like that crescendo that was built up, or the climax that was built up,
Hmm.
was really very well done. And उसपे जब वो उस बंदे, like I mean we can talk about this ना, मतलब obviously हम बात कर सकते हैं. जब वो बेसमेंट वाला बंदा जो है वो छुरा लेके बाहर निकलता है उसको मारने के लिए, और
Hmm.
मारते वक्त भी वो उसको मरने से पहले भी वो बोलता है, एक तो उसको बोलता है रिस्पेक्ट, एंड दैट एक्चुअली
हाँ.
मेक्स यू थिंक, राइट, कि even though like you're okay to be the slave, or our capitalist
Yeah.
society
Yeah.
makes it
Yeah.
okay for another person to become your your slave, and you give them respect. फिर वो उसको मतलब वो उसकी बंदी उसको मार देती है, and then he wants to pick up his keys, and he covers his
Yeah.
nose, right?
Yep.
Hmm.
And that scene, like literally, like I was like, fucking genius, man. Like excuse me, I was like
Hmm.
बहुत ही genius है, like that part, because वो smell वाला part build up हो रहा था, and you knew like
Hmm.
you knew कि a director like him, from what I've heard, because I've not seen his other movies, but ये कि if this is winning a lot of good stuff, then there's got to be like ये waste नहीं करेगा screen time या dialogue
Hmm.
time. तो you could see कि वो बीच में वो smell 2-3 मर्तबा आई, not just once. उसके
हाँ.
हस्बैंड ने मतलब बंदे ने खुद बोला, फिर उसकी वाइफ ने स्मेल किया, बच्चे ने स्मेल किया, then you're like, yeah, definitely there's a link there, and then linked it, and then they got this guy completely losing it. और especially क्या कहते हैं, मतलब अपने बच्चों के सामने भी उसकी इज्जत हो चुकी थी एक मरतबा पहले, तो you
Hmm.
losing respect in front of your kids के you smell that way. It's really something like very बहुत ही खूबसूरती से किया था, because अगर तुम सोचो कि I know I've been on this train for a very long time, but I'll just stop here. But अगर तुम सोचो कि एक चीज जो आप बोलते हैं ना कि differentiate करती है आपको, even if you can't wear the same clothes, something whatever, affordability wise you can actually afford a rich perfume. Like if you look at your society right now, like you can still go and you can't buy a Chanel dress, you can't buy a Burberry dress, it's super expensive, or a bag, but you can buy a perfume for $200, right? And that's somewhere क्या कहते हैं was resonated with me. I was like that, like even उस level पे होना कि सोचना कि यार ये लोग तो वो बेचारे वो भी afford नहीं कर सकते थे, so they're probably
Hmm.
even at a even less fortunate year. And उस छोटी चीज को लेके उसने बहुत बड़ा पतंगड़ बनाया उसका, and played with this guy's brain, like played with the whole uh, uh, family's brain. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Hmm. हाँ, adding to your point, Saad, I agree कि smell के बारे में भी, and the capitalist thing कि हाँ, in the end we are completely fine being a slave, लेकिन slave में भी कुछ भी छोटा सा काम करे, as long as you're respected, you're kind of okay with taking a lot of shit. So I think that's one thing. And Dusha, like you said, right, the director did not waste anything. Like I remember, I think while watching the movie, we find out, okay, oh, she had a husband. And then I think 10 minutes later, it clicked me. Remember once the rich guy, he says, okay, yeah, the problem with the old maid was that she always ate enough food for two or something
Yeah.
along those lines. And
Uh,
that's when I was like, oh, wow, that was like an Easter egg. And there were several Easter eggs throughout the entire thing, which I really liked.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nothing was wasted.
true. Yeah, that's
Mm.
pretty interesting. Good, keen observation there.
Mm.
Temu, what did
I
you
don't know
think?
how many parallels you guys can draw अभी मैं पाकिस्तान से वापस आया हूँ recently, तो this is sort of more apparent for me. लेकिन like again, people sort of living in like बड़े घर हैं, गाड़ियाँ हैं, so you have a driver, you have a dedicated cook, you have a जैसे अक्सर घरों में होते हैं जहाँ पे they get like a like छोटी लड़की ले लेते हैं who's like like she's sort of like the maid, वो बच्चों का भी ख्याल रख लिए, that kind of stuff. So again like what does that speak about? क्योंकि the whole film was like like अच्छा ठीक है, social commentary के रहते हैं, society क्या है, like showing a capitalist environment, you have like these 3 different segments, and जो बिल्कुल जो नीचे वाले हैं they're appreciated but they're not cared for at all. So if they go to the people who are on the top, they don't give a crap about anybody else उनके नीचे. तो यही हो रहा है कि रहते हैं like I जब मैं गया था, so yes I saw like घर में रहता वो छोटी बच्ची है, teenage years या जो भी है, या like वो अक्सर आते हैं because these are like poor kids from like गांव के एरिया होते हैं, माइंड काम करती होती हैं and everything. तो it's the same stuff over there as well in Pakistan as well.
बिल्कुल.
तुम किसी अपना DHA वगैरह या वो क्या नाम है any other high end place में चले रहो लाहौर में or something like that, और बड़ा घर लिया हुआ है बाहर अपना, they have like Audis and Mercs and stuff, these guys are loaded as hell. और अपने घर में like they have like 4-5 नौकर तो पड़े हुए नहीं है, sorry, काम कर रहे हैं. तो it's the same thing, it's literally the exact same thing. तो except हमारे यहाँ क्या होता है कि रहता we don't care much about I don't know, like maybe some people do, कि वो merit पे इतना नहीं होता, भाई सस्ते में काम क्या चीज करेगी, and then they make them, they mold them to what they need. हमारे ड्राइवर को इतने से इतने बजे तक उठा होना चाहिए, वो बिल्कुल रेडी होना चाहिए, अवेलेबल होना चाहिए, मेरा गार्डनर सुबह को इसी टाइम पे आएगा, मुझे इतने फूल इस तरीके से चाहिए, जो मेरी मेड है वो मेरे बच्चों का ऐसे ख्याल रखेगी. तो they tell you what to do, yeah, rather the woman in the house, she usually tells all of these guys how to do that. So she doesn't do anything obviously. So it's like a direct parallel basically जो वहाँ पे हो रहा है, because you don't see that stuff over here as much in Western countries because it's expensive as hell. Like you have to be like super rich. But like in third world countries, Pakistan, India, South Korea वगैरह, यहाँ पे even if you're like just a little bit above middle class, you can afford these things आराम से.
बिल्कुल. नहीं, and you like it is social commentary for us, to be honest. बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हो, because ये चीज बड़ी common है पाकिस्तान में. I mean क्या कहते हैं, हमारे घर पे भी एक आती है बच्ची और उसकी अम्मा आती हैं, and they do the cooking, do the cleaning, they play with the kids as well if they have to. So it's like it's all paid for, but yeah, I mean we consider those as like our luxuries per se. And like I mean like you mentioned, it is a different like I think हमारा अपना भी वो एक है इसके अंदर कि हम लोग को how can we actually try to make their lives better. But what's interesting is कि if you look at the mothers of our houses, they basically almost know वो ये explain करती हैं. I mean, unlike this family that looked like a very two shoes family, इनकी फैमिली मतलब हमारी फैमिली जो होता है बोलता है भाई ये जो आए ना हमारे पास, ये बड़े क्या कहते हैं बड़े तेज बच्चे, और ये बड़ी क्या कहते हैं तेज लड़की है, ये बड़ी तेज वो है, ये तुमसे पैसे मांगेगी, इसको ये नहीं देना, इसको वो नहीं देना. Like for us it's like we are playing more games than क्या कहते हैं than that was actually shown in the movie. Like in the movie it was only one side playing games and the other side being क्या कहते हैं being oblivious to anything as long as it doesn't pain them.
But maybe the reason why they didn't have to play any games is because they were rich enough to not care about this, right? What Taimur was saying.
I mean, look at the house and everything. I mean, the dude was basically, he उसके दिखाई थी कि the job he did basically designing those. Was he an AI developer?
He was
a game developer.
He wasn't.
But anyways, the point was that like he's into like IT at such a high level. Like he doesn't. They were rolling in what, like an S500 or something. Right? Yeah, it was an S500. So at that point, it's less about as long as these people who are working for me are able to match my tastes, and do exactly what I need them to do or want them to do, so that's it. Then all push, nothing else matters.
And I wouldn't even say exactly match his taste, just meet the bare minimum, because that's what he says, right? In the end, I don't mind them as long as they don't cross the line.
Cross the line, yeah.
हम भी तो यही करते हैं ना कि जितने सस्ते में काम कर लें, इसमें होता है सस्ते काम बस काम कर ले जैसे भी है, बस एक हद तक ही हम टॉलरेट कर सकते हैं. सेम चीज इसमें भी. So here's a question. The movie, we all like the movie, but would you guys watch it again?
I will. I think I'll find more nuggets.
I think for me, it was such a movies, so like that take a lot of emotional toll on me. I don't want to watch them again.
Oh, come on! This took emotional toll.
This is besides the point. This is besides the point. कि मेरे पास वैसे time नहीं है to watch a movie again. Dude, अक्सर like if I'll go to a cinema, I'll watch a movie, I'll really enjoy it. I haven't seen Infinity War again. I haven't seen a lot of those kind of films again because time.
Say.
Yeah, so something that makes me feel depressed. So
yeah. I have never seen. I've seen it only once, but I don't ever plan to watch Requiem for a Dream ever again. It's too depressing, too emotionally intensive for me. But yeah, Timur, I get your point of not wanting to see a movie like that again.
I didn't think it was that emotionally charged for me, so I'll give it another go. I want to be able to see some nuggets in it. Habib, what about you?
I'll probably watch it again just so I could actually see the context. I've seen so many of these YouTube videos and Instagram gifs of those metaphorical lines being appeared physically, whether it be a glass line or something. I just want to watch it and see how many I can pick up on.
So just to conclude, I guess there was one since you were, I think it's the best segue into this, and there was a rock in the movie called the metaphorical rock. Do you remember, Temur? There was in the second scene, they bring a huge rock. He gets a gift and he's like, this rock will give us good luck.
Right.
Yeah, and he literally says, oh, this is so metaphorical or something like that.
नहीं तो वो बात वही होती है ना कि as soon as that rock drowns in the वो उसको rock को छोड़ देता है नहीं. So the rock drowns, but the son picks the rock up. But I think that what happens to the rock, because then everybody gets killed, right?
Yeah. So actually, this rock, he picks up the.
उसी पत्थर से नहीं मारता.
हाँ, वो पत्थर से नहीं मारता है. तो होता है कि तो वो rock जो है वो float करती है. It didn't sink in that storm. वो float होके उसके पास आती है. तो ये उसको grab करता है, expecting कि अभी मैं this will bring us good luck. और ये रात में उसके साथ सोता है in the gym. He's sleeping with the rock on his chest. Right?
Yeah.
And the next day he carries the rock with him because he was thinking कि मैं जाके नीचे उस बंदे को जो है वो मार दूंगा इससे. He took the rock to himself to kill him, and then eventually he dies or doesn't die.
Oh no, I disagree. I agree कि उसने पत्थर अपने साथ लिया था, but I don't think he planned or this was premeditated that he will go ahead and kill him. बस वो इत्तेफाक से Maria Kulli had the stone with him. Maybe
he wrapped it up in a bag.
He dragged it. He like roped it and everything. वो लेके जा रहा था with the intention to kill him with that.
Oh, okay.
मतलब उसने एक थैले में डाला था.
I definitely need to see it again.
हाँ, तो वो थैले में डाला था, वो नीचे stairs तक पहुंचा, then he fell on the stair. Fell on the stairs.
पत्थर फिसल गया था उससे, तो then it fell down.
अच्छा.
Yeah. And फिर वो उससे उसको पड़ती है. I think interestingly जब वो वापस अपने होश में आता है तो वो हंसता ही रहता है. And then you're actually also laughing because of the state of what the state of affairs.
I think it speaks. Sorry.
No, Habib, you go ahead.
No, like you were saying, right? That we were laughing. I think it speaks volumes to a director that बेचारे characters के साथ बुरा होते जा रहे हैं, and we're constantly laughing. Like I actually laughed when they kicked that old maid down the staircase. I was laughing. I'm like, haha. I'm like, wait, why am I laughing?
Wow,
I'm
really?
Bad person.
Dude.
I think
you are a bad person because as soon as that scene happened, I was like,
oh, मुझे ऐसा लगा वो मर गई वहाँ पर, पता है? और मैं like मुझे ऐसा लगा वो मर गई. Obviously वो मरी नहीं थी, वो बाद में मरी है कंप्रेशन की वजह से. लेकिन वो वाला पॉइंट जो था उसमें मैंने ये रियलाइज किया कि यार later I was like कि इनकी इंटेंशन उनको मारने की नहीं थी, but they really just like what Temur said, they really just wanted to get rid of them. Like बस just stay put. stay put, मरो नहीं, but stay put. Because they always kept looking क्या उसको ज़्यादा चोट ना लगाओ, ज़्यादा मत मारो, वो मर जाएगा. That kind of stuff. So I think
let's wrap it up for today. For the first ever episode.
Cool.
Habib, you want to add something else? Last killing notes or something?
No, I think that's it. And stay in touch.
Do we need to give like a rating or something?
I don't think a rating. The best we can say is that is this movie worth a watch, and definitely 100%. Yani ki everybody should, like, if you're remotely interested in movies, you 100% you have to see this.
That's true. But do you recommend his other movies over this? Yeah.
Yes. I think Snowpiercer for me was better than Parasite because I absolutely loved
Snowpiercer and The Host were both. And
I haven't seen The Host.
And if you see the Host and Snowpiercer were both more like semi-action, but there was a lot of, like, again, social commentary, a lot of drama, thriller bhi tha usme bahut zyada. But the thing is, if you want to watch something more in this kind of like moody film of his, but less social commentary and more about just like a thriller kind of film, to watch Memories of a Murder. Like, that film was insane. But that's from like early 2000s, I think.
Okay, we'll check it out.
So watch Snowpiercer, watch watch The Host. That was 2006 ki thi. And definitely watch Memories of a Murder, because
none of these are horror movies, right?
None of these are horror movies. No. These are all thriller movies. They are not horror movies.
Okay, because if I want to watch, I'm alone right now. I don't want to self-isolation. Horror movie nahi dekhni.
No, not at all. In fact, The Host came out, I think 2 years before जो वो निकली थी उसकी J.J. Abrams की कौन सी थी, the monster movie?
Star Trek.
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield से 2 साल पहले निकली थी. But the thing is कि I watched it the same year as Cloverfield, and I put it better than Cloverfield, and I really, really love Cloverfield.
This is the first Cloverfield, right? Not the other one.
No, God, no. Second one is
no. There is only one Cloverfield. Let's just go with that.
It's in the same universe, though. It's not even a sequel. It's in the same universe. And universe ka tie-in happens right at the end of that film.
Acha. Okay.
Oh, yeah. It was,
All right.
But yeah, 100% see. इससे पहले जो movie निकली थी, it was Okja. That was on Netflix. You can watch that as well. That is a pure social commentary film, just like Parasite. Pure social commentary film.
Interesting. So yeah, that's good. Yeah, but हमें एक मरतबा हमें एक पाकिस्तानी मूवी करनी चाहिए. I want you guys to have a look, and then it'll be interesting. I've seen a few Pakistani movies recently.
The last Pakistani movie I had seen was War थे. And उससे पहले खुदा के लिए. नहीं, खुदा के लिए के बाद की भी उसने एक मूवी बनाई थी ना. Bol
was good.
Bol was good.
So on that bombshell, I think we should wrap up. I'm going to switch off the recording. If you want to continue, we can talk, but I'll switch off the recording. Bye, guys.
See you guys.
Bye. See you.
Yeah.